The lowest rung of influence you can have over another human being is telling somebody they should or should not do something. And that's usually where we stop. You know what you should do? So I lived in a community with a mountain community. We had a wood-burning fireplace. There's no way to teach my kids not to touch it. So I just had to, there's no way to block it off. So I had to teach my kids not to touch it. So my son, 2, goes to touch it. I keep eye contact. And with my best mom voice, I'm like, no. He keeps eye contact and touches it anyway. We actually don't grow out of that. There's a human psychological phenomenon where all you hear is the affirmative of what's being said. So if I say, don't eat cake, don't eat cake, don't eat cake, what does your brain hear? Cake, cake, cake. And we wonder why these things are so difficult. And that's the internal dialogue and dialogue to other. Permission and space. Stop telling people they should do things. You should really connect with each other, but we're going to give you no time whatsoever, right? Or we're not going to help or assist that process. So permission and space are so important. The next one is performing the behaviors yourself. If you are connected with the event, if you are a leader in this room, in the event you're running, performing the behavior yourself is so important. So at the end of my dad's career, he was a CFO at a company, and he was running a team of 160 accountants. Doesn't that sound like fun? And what he would do is he knew, it was a very traditional work environment, like suit, ties, long hours. And what he would do is he knew he was a better person and better leader if he was exercised at lunch. But he'd like slink out the back door and then come back in and tell no one. He's like, now knowing what I know, because he has this as a daughter, I would be like, how's your half marathon training coming? I'll see you at the pool later. Performing the behavior and being a little performative about it. The next one is inviting somebody into a behavior. Now, there is no debate, hands down, in psychology and psychiatry, the #1 treatment for depression is physical activity. The hard part, of course, is getting somebody who is depressed to be physically active. The most effective technique they have is a loved one inviting them into the behavior. So, for this analogy, you have to assume my partner likes me, okay? That you have to make that proper assumption. So if I come home from work and I see that my partner's on the sofa and I say, you should go for a walk, how is that received? Versus, and again, he likes me, to be like, I'm going for a walk, do you want to come with me? Very different. So how do you invite people into doing the behavior? And last but not least, whole modeling the behavior, not role modeling. We have accidentally made leadership and perfection synonymous, and it is the disservice we've done. When we think of whole modeling, it's talking about our successes and our failures. Failure is part of learning. Why would we only want to guide and lead people during successful times? They need the guidance during failure. So in my previous weird community, I had a cul-de-sac, and there was 3 Olympians on my cul-de-sac. So when they said, would you like to go for a run? I'm like, no. But if I was starting a running program, would I ask for their assistance? Sure, they're world-class athletes at endurance sports. But if I was failing, would I ask for their advice? Probably not. So can we create and model whole modeling versus role modeling? We need to create a foundation of psychological safety. That idea of you feel like you can share your thoughts, your ideas, your thought leadership, your thought diversity, in an effective way. If we are not getting all the voices at a table, why are we gathering to begin with? There's such knowledge, as an example, in this room, such wisdom of the crowd. We should be seeking that out. But we need to create a psychologically safe place to do that. That is a fundamental need. We will not share our ideas if we think they're going to be shut down.